Hello friends, this is School Fees Management System video tutorial series. And in this part, we will show you how to use Soft Delete feature for school academic year data. Under the School Fees Management System by using PHP Script with MySQL Database. In this system, we will not delete or remove academic year data, but here, we will use Soft Delete feature. So academic year data will not be deleted from system, but only status will be changed. This is because it is master data, and disable academic year data will not be used for new insert or update of system data. Now let's start discussing this topic. So first we want to create soft delete button. So we have goes to action.php file, and under this file, here we have create one delete button variable with blank value. So under this variable, we will store dynamic delete button code in HTML format. So when academic year data status is enabled, then disable button must be displayed. So in this block, we have to write $delete button variable is equal to button tag with type attribute is equal to button and class attribute is equal to button danger and button small class. After this, we have to write onClick attribute is equal to delete data function with two argument. In first argument, we have to write $row academic year ID variable value, and in second argument, we have to write $row academic year status variable, so this function will enable or disable status. And in button text, we have to write disable, so it will make disable button, and now for enable button, we have goes to else block of code. And here we have to write $delete button variable is equal to button tag with type attribute is equal to button. After this, onClick attribute is equal to delete data function with two argument, and in first argument, we have to write $row academic year ID variable, and in second argument, we have to write $academic year status variable. And in button text, we have to write enable, so it will make enable button. So here our dynamic delete button is ready. Now here we have to write $delete button variable, so it will display delete button in each row of data. Now here, we have to refresh web page, and after refresh of web page, here we can see that delete button has been created under each row of data. So when we have click on this button, then that academic year data status will be changed to enable or disable. So for this feature, we have goes to academicyear.php file. And here, we have to create one delete data function with two argument like ID and status variable. Under this function, we have to write new status variable is equal to enable. And below this, we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write status variable value is equal to enable. If this condition true, then it will execute if block of code. And under this block, we have to write new status variable value is equal to disable, so it will change new status variable value. Now here, we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write confirm method. And under this method, we have to write message like, are you sure you want to enable or disable this academic year data? So it will pop up dialog box on the web page with this message. So when we have click on OK button, then it will execute if block of code. And under this block, we have to write window.location.href attribute is equal to academicyear.php file with question mark with action variable value is equal to delete. and ID variable is equal to dynamic value of ID variable, and status variable is equal to dynamic value of new status variable. So it will redirect web page to this URL, and it will enable or disable academic year data status. Now we have goes to PHP code part, and here we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write PHP is set function, and under this function, we have to write $get action variable, comma $get ID variable, and $get status variable. After this, we have to write and operator with $get action variable value is equal to delete. If this condition true, then it will execute if block of code, and it will proceed for enable or disable academic year data status. Under this block, we have to write $academic year ID variable is equal to $get ID variable value. And below this, we have to write $status variable is equal to $get status variable value. So here, we have to store get URL variable data under this local variable, and now here we have to write $data variable is equal to an array. In array first key, we have to write academic year status, and in value, we have to write $status variable. In array second key, we have to write academic year ID, and in value, we have to write $academic year ID variable. So here, we have to store data under this $data variable in an array format. Now below this, we have to write $query variable is equal to update query like update academic year table. Set academic year status column value is equal to academic year status key value, and in where condition we have to write academic year ID table column value is equal to academic year ID key value. Now below this query, we have to write statement variable value is equal to $connect variable with prepare method, and under this, we have to write $query variable. So it will make query for execution, and now we want to execute this query, so here we have to write $statement variable with execute method with $data variable as argument, so it will execute above update query. And it will change academic year data status column value, and after this, we want to redirect web page. So here we have to write header function, and under this function, we have to write location, which is set to academic year.php file with question mark, and with message variable value is equal to $status variable value. So it will redirect web page to this URL, and now we want to display success message on the web page. So here, we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write $get message variable value is equal to disable, or $get message variable value is equal to enable. If this condition true, then it will execute if block of code, and under this block, here we have to write PHP echo statement with message like academic year data status change to dynamic value of $get message variable. So it will display this message on the web page. So here our code is ready. Now we have to check output in the browser. Friends, here we can see that disable button has been displayed in each row of data. Now we have to refresh web page, and after refresh of web page, here also we can see that disable button has been created in each row of data. Now we want to disable status of this academic year data. So here we have click on disable button. So after click on disable button, so here we can see pop-up dialog box message like are you sure you want to disable this academic year data with OK and cancel button. So we have to click on OK button. So after click on OK button here, we can see that academic year data status has been changed to disable, and here we can see success message on the web page. And here, we can see that in the row of disable academic year data, here we can see enable button has been displayed. And now we want to enable this academic year data, so we have to click on this enable button, so it has asked for confirmation before enable academic year data. So here, we can see that academic year data status has been enabled, and now disable button has been displayed. So this way, we can enable or disable academic year data under the school fees management system. And in next part, we will start academic standard module, so we will be meet in next part. And lastly, thank you for watching this video tutorial. And additionally, if you have any query or input regarding this video tutorial, you can comment under comment box.